Hello everyone, welcome to our group presentation today. I will give you some information about how to use formal and informal verbs in iPhone introduction. First of all, here is our table of contents that you can look through and feel easy to catch the idea that I will talk later. Okay, let's move to the first part is about background. Before getting more detail, I think we should have a definition of verb. According to Oxford Dictionary, verbs is a word or a group of words that express an action, an event, or a state. And due to Merriam-Webster, verbs is a word that characteristically is the grammatical sense of a predicate and express an act, occurrence, or mode of being. That in various languages is inflected for agreement with the subject, for tense, for voice, for mood, and for aspect. So I can conclude that verb express an action, an event, or a state that has rather full descriptive meaning and characterizing quality with the tense, voice, mood, and aspect. And to make you understand more about verbs, I will show you about 4 grammatical categories of verbs. First is about tense. Tense is the correspondence between the form of the verb and our concept of time. Includes past and present and no future tense because there is no verb form corresponding to the future time. For example, he is presenting now. In participle expressed for present. And Steve Jobs created the iPhone in 2007. The ed participle expressed for past. And next is about the aspect. Aspect concern the manner in which a verbal action is experienced or regarded with respect to time. There are 2 types of aspects. The first is progress aspect. Verbal action experienced as in progress, and the perfective aspect is verbal action experienced as completed. And the third is mood, a grammatical category that relates to the verb action to such conditions such as certainty, obligation, necessity, and possibility. There are 3 types of mood. The first is indicative, express statement or the fact. Imperative mode is express command and request. And the last one is subjunctive mood. Is express non-fact or unreal thing. For example, you can see here, she is nice to me. Is a fact and it means indicative mood. The next one, be nice to me, is express uncommon. Is the imperative mood. And the last example, I suggest she be nice to me. It is a non-fact and of course it is subjunctive mood. And the finally is about the voice, a grammatical category that makes it possible to view the action of sentences in either of 2 ways without change in the fact reported. There are 2 types of voice, is passive voice and active voice. For example, he ate on the apples is the active voice, and the dog was bitten by our neighbor is the form of passive voice. Okay, now it's the main part we need to focus on. It's about definition of formal and informal verb. Formal verbs used when writing for professional or academic purposes like university assignments or in situations that are serious. Not still colloquialism, contestant or first-person pronouns. For example, iOS 15 enhanced the iPhone experience with the new way to retain connected and powerful features that have users focus, explore, and do more with on device intelligence. Meanwhile, informal verbs used when communicating with friends or in situations that are more reflexive. The tone is more personal than formal language, more casual and spontaneous. And according to the title of this video, we have definition of product introduction. Product introduction is a business process through which a new product is launched, debuted, or published in the markets of general user and or business. The product introduction process is executed mainly by the sales and marketing divisions of an organization, and it is applied when a product is completely authorized and tested to be used by its end user or customers. In the tech world, the introduction of a new product can generate a lot of buzz, especially if the product is cutting edge. Marketers often bank on generating this kind of consumer response to help sell their product. Product introduction may also be called a product launch, and we can conclude that new product introduction, the process by which a new product is introduced into the marketplace, take place at the end of a successful product development project. In the next part, I will show you how we can use formal and informal verbs in a business field. The first one, we have modal verb. Advertisers use modal verbs and subjects referring to customer to show gentleness and politeness in sentences. Past modal verbs are more polite than modal verbs, as the illustration I show here. And the first one is about can-could modal verb. It's often used to express permission. For example, customers who like to pay smallly for their iPhones can use the Apple Store app on their iPhone to get pre-approved until 9 p.m. Or we can also make a suggestion. Example, customer can save up to $700 on iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 mini after check-in directly from the Apple Store online, or as an Apple Store if they activate it with Verizon. And the next is about the will good modal verb. We use it to express the willingness. For example, customers who would like to pay money for their iPhone, including the trading in their current device or joining or upgrading through the iPhone upgrade programs, can use the Apple Store app on their iPhone to get pre-approved until 9 p.m. We can see clearly that can is mostly used approximate 95% in modal verb later. Because Apple main customers are young people, can use will be more appealing and suitable for their customer age. Goods, could, and will are highly polite words, so they are rarely used because it makes the sentences more serious and less intimate. And the next one is about word choice. The difference between formal and informal language is also based on the choice of verbs when we use. I have two examples here. iPhone 13 represents a massive leap in camera design with advancement in hardware and computational photography that delivers stunning photos and videos. Massive improved wireless charging for a better, more efficient experience and introduce an ecosystem of easy-to-attach accessories that beautifully complement iPhone's 12 models. We can see that all the verbs used are formal, and it is suitable for the purpose of product introductions, but still answer the colonies not too hard. It brings the respect but still answer colonies to the customer because the words and modal verbs are combined in a medium level of formality. The last part is about application of formal and informal verbs in journal iPhone introduction. About the methodologies, we reading the 4 articles below here. And after that, we filter from the type of study objects, and we have a statistic about the number of times the phrasal verb, informal modal verbs, and formal verbs appears in the articles. And we finding that 2 tables below is our statistics, and I have mentioned before. All of you please take some minutes. And now is my analysis. As we can tell from the data charts, formal verbs account for the largest number of the verbs appearing in both articles. One of the most noticeable factors to this is because both articles are about formal topics. Journalists use formal and concise language to present factual information clearly to their readers. The most common case of informal language uses are the areas in the newspaper that are intended to attract the reader's attention or intent them, such as headings, humor columns, or celebrity news. The most common type of informal language utilized in newspaper are slang, informal language, and coined words. At the end of this video, I have some conclusions. iPhone customers are mainly young people, so the use of words in the introduction is not too formal. It's enough to answer respect for the customer, but still keep the colonies in the sentence. The use of formal verbs or informal verbs depend on situation you are in, the person you are talking to. Using formal verbs or informal verbs at the ground situation will negatively affect the information you want to convey. And last but not least, I have a table of appropriate case to use formal and informal verbs. I hope it will be helpful for all of your business. Okay, that's all the information I want to share for you. Thanks for listening.